So we all know and love GPTs, and they're only going to get better now that OpenAI has opened up the GPT store to the world. But as amazing as these GPTs are, it's sort of limiting to have them only be able to be used on the ChatGPT interface. So today I'm going to show you the easiest way you can take your GPTs and host them on another platform like your website, WhatsApp, Telegram, or whatever else, all for free. Best of all, we're going to do it in under 5 minutes. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, the platform that's going to help us do this is Botpress. And if you haven't heard of them before, they're a chatbot building platform that leverages no-code or low-code tooling to build these amazing conversational experiences on many different platforms. And best of all, their pricing is the best I've seen among other chatbots. You can see by default, they give you 5 bots and 2,000 messages per month. And it even includes a vector database for its internal knowledge base, as well as some tables which you can use to store the data to do some advanced operations. On top of that, they give you $5 of AI credit per month. So the first thing you got to do is sign up for Botpress, and it only takes a few minutes. And if you use the link in the description, you'd be helping me out. Once you've done that, I want you to open Chrome and navigate to this page on the Chrome Web Store to download this extension. All you got to do is click Add to Chrome, and it doesn't even require any extra permissions, which is great. Next up, you can log into your OpenAI account and go to this page to generate a new API key for use with this tool. So you can just create a new secret key, give it a name, and copy that. Don't worry, I will revoke that key after the video. So now you can go to the extension and click to open it, and it'll ask you for your OpenAI key that you just copied. So you can just pop that right in, click next, and here it's asking for your personal access token for Botpress. This is just another type of API secret which is going to be used to take your GPT and create it in Botpress. To do that, you will log into Botpress and click on your profile and personal access tokens. Here you can just generate a new token. I will just call it Bot, and you will copy that for use with the tool. So you can even open it from this page and paste that in there. Okay, now you just got to go to the GPT that you want to use. So we'll click that. And just for fun, I'm going to create a new GPT so we can see exactly how it works. So I'm going to click Create, which is only available if you're paying for GPT Plus. And I'm going to call this Snoop. And we're going to say, respond to every single thing that I say as a Snoop Dogg verse. We're going to leave web browsing on, and we're going to save this and set it to only me. So now we want to deploy this to Botpress. So I'm just going to click the extension, which is Deploy GPTs, and I'm going to choose the workspace I want to deploy it in. I'm just going to choose the default workspace. And now what it's doing is it's using the Botpress API to create all the necessary nodes and connections to build a chat experience just like this GPT. And I will talk a little bit more about how that works behind the scenes. So let's talk to our bot. Okay, what's your name? Call me Chat G, AI with the flow, spitting knowledge and help. That's how I roll. I like it. Let's do another one. What's your favorite thing to do? Dropping knowledge bombs, spinning rhymes so tight, helping users all day and coding all night. I did not know Snoop Dogg was a coder. All right, so this thing works. Now let's see if we can put it on a website. So here I've come to the Botpress dashboard with the default workspace, and we can see that it's been created. So I'm just gonna come to the integrations tab. Let's just keep it simple and embed a chat widget on a regular HTML page. So I'm just gonna click web chat, and we'll leave all these things as the defaults, and I'm just gonna take the pre-configured embed code, and all we gotta do is just pop that in our HTML code. So I've gone and created a very simple HTML page that has an iframe to Snoop Dogg's official website and pop those script tags right at the bottom. Now I want to add a bit of magic to this, so I want the chat icon to actually have Snoop Dogg's face on it. So I'm just going to come here to Imager and just upload an image of Snoop Dogg. I can just grab the image address and pop it right here. and click Save. Going to my HTML page, just going to open it with Google Chrome, and here we go. We should be live. So we can see that image is there, and ask, what's up? And he writes back, and I can say, when were you born? And he goes on to follow the GPT instructions and tell me he was born in 71. Okay, so that's all for what you gotta do, but now I wanna tell you a little bit about how this works. All right, now before you get too excited and you go and take everyone else's GPT and offer them as services to put on people's websites, I have to tell you that you can only do this for GPTs that you own. And the way it works is that under the hood, it's using the OpenAI key that you provided it to create an assistant with the same instructions you gave your GPT. So if we go to my assistants in the OpenAI platform, we can see that there's an assistant there and it has the exact same instructions I provided my GPT. Remember, I had enabled the search the web functionality? It also has that as a function that's been made available to that assistant. So because these are assistants and not GPTs, it means they mostly function the same, but there are going to be some slight differences. For example, while with GPTs, you have actions and custom actions which automatically call APIs that you defined with an Open API schemer, here in Assistants, what we have are functions, which are just ways of telling the assistant that we have some code or some process that takes in some inputs, and whenever this tool is required, you tell me and I'll run that code and give you the answer to use in the rest of the conversation. So with these assistants, you're not going to have access to your actions in the GPTs, but you can implement the functions in Botpress or as code as you desire. What you are still able to do, however, is use the code interpreter and even do retrieval from a knowledge base that you upload to your GPT, like the files that you upload. The Botpress team has also automatically created a search the web function, which is similar to browse the web that you get with GPTs. Now to dive into the Botpress build itself to see how that works a little bit. So here I am in Botpress and I'm just going to click edit to go into Botpress Studio. And here on the main canvas, we see that the main thing here is this index workflow. And when we click on that, all it's doing is calling this handle response workflow. So let's go in there. And basically what this is doing is for every conversation that you're opening with the Botpress widget, it will create a new thread using the Assistants API. Every time you send a message, it will post a message to that thread, and then it will wait for a response from the Assistants API. And then it will wait until the response from the Assistants API is completed, and it even supports function calls. So here we see that it's even able to detect if there was an action required instead of providing the response directly, and it's able to handle a few actions. They're integrating with the image generation DALL-E API as well as web search. So this means that you can implement whatever tool that you like to use as well. But this is sort of beyond the scope of this tutorial. I'll happily cover it in a different tutorial where I explain how you can deploy these assistants to Botpress or other platforms like VoiceFlow. And the last thing that I think is important to call out is that since this is using the Assistants API, it can be kind of slow. Just like ChatGPT generates those tokens one by one, behind the scenes, it has to do all of that before it can spit out the response. You may have noticed this before, but let me demonstrate. Write me 4 lines of your best rhymes. Which kind of rhymed. So that's easily over 8 seconds. But there is something you can do about this at the expense of lower quality. So if we jump back into the Assistants dashboard, we can actually change the model that's used from GPT-4 to GPT 3.5 Turbo. And if we try the same thing again, we can see that was much faster. These assistants have a huge advantage over traditional chatbot designs where you're literally asking for fields one by one, and conversations through the Assistants API can have a much more natural feel to them. And ultimately, it's where things are going. And while this is a great way to get your feet wet using the Assistants API, the real power is going to come when you know exactly how those functions work, how you can call APIs and integrate it into other systems. And that's what I'm going to be covering in the next video. So if you're interested on seeing how you can leverage the Assistants API with one of these low-code, no-code tools like Botpress, subscribe so you can check that video out when it comes out. Now, learning is best done by taking action. And it only takes 5 minutes for you to go down in the links and register for Botpress and give this a try for yourself so you'll have it in your toolkit forever. Until next time.